Hello to my scientists. This is Mrs. Aquilia here at my kitchen science lab, and I'm here for science experiment of the week number 6, and it's called Sunset in a Bottle. Think about a sunset, right? When the sun looks like it's going down in the evening and you see all those pretty colors and they all kind of blend together. Like you can see each color separate, but it blends from one color to another. We're going to be creating something like that in a little bottle. And the way that we're going to do this is we're going to start. I already started without you. What I did was I put some sugar in 4 different cups, different amounts of sugar. This cup has 4 teaspoons of sugar. This one has 3. This one has 2. This one has no sugar at all. And to that, I added some warm water. I added a tablespoon and a teaspoon of warm water, and then I mixed them really well, because what needs to happen is the sugar needs to dissolve. And what I mean by dissolve is that when you mix any kind of a powder with a liquid, you want the powder to be mixed so well that it becomes part of the liquid. Think about, I don't know, Kool-Aid or some kind of powder that you would make a drink out of, lemonade maybe. When you pour the powder into the liquid, re-stirring it using my trusty spork, when you pour the powder into the liquid, once you've mixed it or shaken it up well enough, you end up with an orange drink or a red drink or whatever color it is. You don't end up with like water and, this powder. So this is exactly what I did here. I stirred them all before you got here so that they all dissolved. And what I'm going to do now is very slowly, using an eyedropper, I'm going to put them one at a time into this little jar. And while I'm doing that, I want you to make a prediction, which we know is a good guess of what you think is going to happen. What do you think is going to happen with these 4 liquids? This one I don't really need to do slowly because it's the first one I'm putting in. But what do you think is going to happen with these liquids when I put them all in here together? Do you think they're all going to mix together? Now we know that a liquid like oil will not mix with water, but all of these are water, right? And they all have the same amount of water in them. However, they do not have the same amount of sugar dissolved into the water, right? The purple one had 4 teaspoons of sugar. The blue one has 3 teaspoons of sugar. And I know I forgot to mention the step where I added the food coloring, but I think you pretty much got that. So the blue one has less sugar than the purple one. The green one only has 2 teaspoons of sugar. And the yellow one doesn't have any sugar at all. So let's see. Can you tell what's starting to happen? Can you tell that when we put the blue in on top of the purple, they are not mixing together? The blue is actually on top of the purple. So they're 2 separate layers. Why do you think that might be? 4 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons. Now we're going to do the green, which is 2 tablespoons of sugar. And while I'm slowly pouring this in, I want you to think about what you expect will happen. Make your prediction. And hopefully the same thing will continue to happen with all of these very pretty colors. My fingers are probably in the way, but I'm going to show you in a minute. So if you haven't made your prediction, make it right now. Then I'm going to show you what happened with the green. Now we have 3 separate layers, but they're all water. How come they're not mixing together? How come they're staying separate? The reason is because of the amount of sugar that's dissolved in all of them. Think about it. The sugar is actually adding some weight to the water. Come on. So it would make sense that water that has more sugar in it is going to be heavier, isn't it? Than water that has less sugar in it. I'm going to have to put this down. Or even no sugar in it, right? So we know that this yellow one, it would make sense that it's just going to stay right on top because it has no sugar to add any weight to it all. And I think that you can understand why this is called sunset. Sunset in a bottle. Because you can see the colors separately, but they do blend together at the same time. I just got some yellow on my toe. You know what? I'm going to be a little unscientific about this because there's not much left, so I can't seem to get it into the dropper. I hope this is slow enough because following directions are very important in science. So boys and girls, are you able to see, let me put the top on this, how beautifully this came out? And this is all because, you might be able to see it better by the window, this is all because the different colors have different amounts of sugar and therefore they weigh a different amount. They were able to layer on top of each other because there's a different amount of sugar dissolved in each one. Hi, Melody. Melody, you came for the end of the video? Okay, boys and girls, so I hope that you enjoyed this. Everybody's got sugar at home. Everybody's got water at home. And if you have food coloring at home, this is a really easy experiment to do. And it's really cool to see the effects of dissolving something in water and how it changes the weight of it. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope that you make your own sunset in a bottle and that you send me videos and pictures like you always do. Okay, bye everybody.